So one of the most commonly asked questions that I always get is how many suits are in my wardrobe. So today I'm going to walk you through and show you what's in my current rotation. Most of what I have is navy. I just tend to gravitate towards navy. Most of my customers are fairly conservative, so I like to dress that way as well, just so I'm matching my audience. Navy, slight textures into sort of the grays, and very tonal wardrobe. You're going to see the trait of me purchasing very similar fabrics and the consistency of when I like something, I buy a couple of different variations of it. Probably one that I've had for around about 10 years is the Dormay 15.7. So this is the 4-ply. So it's a little bit heavier. It's got a fantastic drape. I love this fabric. You can wear it as a full suit. You can wear it as a jacket with a different color trouser as well. I just find it really versatile. I've done it with a patch pocket. So going from sort of lighter weight to heavier weight, I've got classic navy flannels, and then moving into some slightly lighter weight summer suiting with a bit of silk in it. And then all the way through to more summer, so seersucker, really good for this hot weather, nice and breathable, into slightly more fancier, wool with quite a lot of silk in it to add a little bit of pop. I like to stick to the darker navies as opposed to the lighter blues. I just find that with more pale skin, it gives you a bit more contrast. Very popular at the moment. We've seen a lot of chocolate, so I've got classic chocolate wool suits. Again, this is from Dormay. Natural stretch, mid-weight, so suitable for all year round. Really nice fabric. I don't tend to wear too many separates myself. When I do separates, it's more for the winter, and I would normally wear a sports jacket with a more formal trouser. One of my new ones, pretty bold for me, but still on a similar color palette. Very similar to what I said earlier, creature of habit. So I bought it in both colors. You can pair this with a lighter trouser, you can pair it with a darker chocolate. Whenever you're purchasing a garment that you have to think too much about what trouser to pair it with or what shirt, then for me it's not the right fabric, because I want to go to my wardrobe in the morning. I wake up very early, I want to pick my suit and not sort of have to really think about what's going to go with what and how it's going to look. Back to suiting, so going into more of the grey tones, I've got puppy tooth, your traditional houndstooth, and Prince of Wales. I think all of those fabrics, they're super easy to wear with a white shirt. You can wear it with a baby blue shirt as well. I think it's always good to have that versatility where you've got a wardrobe which can cover you for every occasion that you're going to be put in. That's where I find most people go wrong with their selection. They almost impulse purchase based on seeing something in a window and purchasing it without thinking about, is it going to complement the other items in my wardrobe? For example, with the houndstooth, I can wear that as a jacket on its own with a different trouser. I can wear the trouser with a different jacket. So I'm making multiple looks out of one suit. And that's where we try to focus on guiding our customers into the right product so that they're getting more bang for buck, and everything that we keep track of, make sure that it complements what they already have in their wardrobe. I always encourage people, buy really well. So buy less, but buy better. And I think that that's the key. I much prefer people to scale it right back and purchase 3 really good quality suits as opposed to having 10 average suits that they don't quite like. And I find that most people, they always gravitate towards 1 or 2 suits in their wardrobe anyway. Looking at it as more of an investment of how you're looking is going to make sure that you have the longevity of the garment. You're also purchasing fabric that's going to be durable, that's going to be suitable for your environment. So whether you're traveling a lot, having fabrics that are travel proof, that don't crease. If you're wearing through your trousers, going with certain fabrics that are going to give you that durability aspect. But I think purchasing smartly is one of the biggest things. Buy less and buy better. I have all my chinos and items like that in here. Now, I don't tend to wear chinos very often, to be honest. Normally I'm dressed fairly formally. I think the biggest thing with people's wardrobes that I see when I visit customers' houses and go through their wardrobes to understand what they have and what's good and what's not good. One of the biggest things that I see is everyone jams as many suits in there and they don't sort of space in between. For me, this is actually fairly crowded at the moment, but I tend not to have too many suits sort of back to back, because what you'll find is as they sort of touch each other, it will bruise the fabric. It also doesn't let the suits breathe from a longevity point of view. If you can space your garments, hang them properly on proper hangers, which obviously we give our customers, and put your trousers correctly on the hanger as well. Accessories. So we've got the crocodile belts, great accessory. They're all made in Italy and we use the Hermes tannery. So fantastic quality belts, a couple of hats for golf. I buy all my glasses from 1.74. I find that their range is fantastic. Loads of different brands that I've got over the years, and the staff are fantastic. So everything from Tom Brown to Ivan, the Jacques-Marie Marge. And then fragrance. Fragrance has always been a big one for me. I love fragrance. I used to have a massive fragrance collection, and then now I've sort of dwindled it down to one brand. And Clive Christian, over the years, I've just fell in love with this brand. This fragrance is just unbelievable. You don't need a big spray of it. Like, it's just one spray and you're good for the whole day, and you're bound to get a lot of compliments. If I'm wearing a flannel suit, I'm typically wearing a heavier fragrance. So normally with fragrances that are a little bit heavier, normally I'm wearing that more in winter, whereas fresher fragrances I'm wearing with more seersucker and lighter weight fabrics. I just find that it sort of balances it. There's no right or wrong, and I know a lot of people pick one fragrance and stay with one fragrance. I like to mix it up a little bit, just so that you have a little bit of variety, and then you don't sort of stop being able to smell it if you wear the same one. Clive Christian, one of my favorite brands. So onto some of my more summery suits, a little bit more bright. So again, fairly tonal, creams, grays, beiges. I find that with the lighter colors, I prefer to have a bit of something happening. So herringbone, subtle checks. This is actually, even though it is a lighter color, it's quite a heavy fabric, deconstructed. I find this just sits really nice. This is a beautiful piano fabric. I don't tend to like linen too much, only because everything creases a lot. So I find that even though this is what linen should look like, and some people really like that feeling, I've got to be in the mood for it. And I find that I tend to more gravitate towards wool silk linen, which it gives you that look of linen, but it doesn't crease as much. A lot of my summer suits normally are done with a notch lapel. I just find it's quite easy to wear. You can wear it open collar without a tie if you don't really feel like it. This is the perfect suit to wear with a sneaker. And then with more of my formal suits and my darker suits, normally a lot of the styling is done with a peak lapel. Moving on to my shirts. Probably the most boringest part of my wardrobe. I wear white pretty much every day. I have been wearing a lot of darker shirts lately. I really like the satin stretch, beautiful fabric. I normally do quite a high semi-cutaway collar. Do it with a button cuff, only because I lose my French cuff links if I'm going to the gym, so I normally forget them. So I like to keep it pretty simple, just an initial with an M on it. I do a lot of things with a blue fine stripe, so from far away it looks like a baby blue, but when you get up close to it, you can see a bit more detail. I don't tend to wear too many denims. I do like it for wearing with like a cream chino, sometimes under a suit as well, if I want to make it a little bit more casual. Normally picking a heavier weight fabric. So I like a 220 gram. I find that it just sits nice if you're in it all day long. It doesn't really crease very much. One little trick that I sort of do to work out what is new and what is old, do very subtle changes. I slightly change each season, whether it's a round cuff or whether it's an angle cuff. So when I'm going through after one season, I can actually retire some of these shirts, and then I know which is my new ones and which is my slightly older ones. So moving on to shoes. No outfit is complete without shoes. Baluti, one of my favorite shoes. I've got quite a few different variations of it. The most classic Andy. The reason why I love this shoe is not only can you change the color up to 5 times, so if you want to change this each season, you can go from black to brown. You can do pretty much whatever you like. They're just built to last. They just are a really good shoe. They're solid. They just go with everything. Lorenzo. It's a bit softer in terms of construction, and I find that this is really nice to wear with slightly more casual suits. So if I'm pairing this with a wool silk linen, I would lean towards a loafer like this. My oldest shoe here would be the Santoni, and these really need to be retired. But It's one shoe that I just really love. I just love it. I've had these sent to the cobbler a few times. It's got the crocodile on it. They're absolutely destroyed. There's certain things in your wardrobe that just sort of stay in your wardrobe and you don't want to throw it away. Edward Green, I've got a few options in these. Tassel loafers, sneakers. The Xenia's really popular. They're just super soft, easy to wear. Berluti, again, you can change the color in these. Really nice shoe. I love these. I don't wear sneakers too often, but when I do, it's normally with a more casual outfit like a jean, as opposed to a suit. The Loro Piana Summer Walks, these are really good. They're easy to wear. You can throw them on, super comfy. Slides, I like the Hermes slide. It's just an easy throw on. I've got them in a couple of different colorways. I tend to always wear black. I don't actually think I've worn these. And then I've got more of the fun things like velvet, so velvet slippers with the crowns on it. I think these were Churches from memory. Wear these with a tuxedo. I tend to like having a little bit more fun when I'm dressing like that. When it comes to shoes, the main thing is making sure that you're picking the right shoe that adds versatility to your wardrobe. Again, stressing the point, buy less but buy better quality. Even though sometimes you might pay a little bit more for a shoe, it's going to last you a lot longer than what a slightly cheaper shoe or not as well made a shoe would last. So I think that's a massive advantage, is when you spend a little bit more and you buy quality, you don't need to have loads of shoes. I think the problem is a lot of people go for designer shoes as opposed to shoemaker shoes. Berluti are known for their shoes. George Cleverly is known for his shoes. Edward Green is known for his shoes. And I do have a pair of Gucci shoes here. Not that I've ever worn them. Look how dusty they are. But they're not shoemakers, so they're not built to last. Whereas like when you actually look at these shoes, that like they're solid and you can resole them. The most important thing of the wardrobe: dehumidifier. So these things I have got everywhere. These are gold. Shoes and suits, they need to breathe to stop getting mold on them. I think having a few of those scattered around is a game changer. It stops mold going on shoes. And then as you'll notice, like most of my shoes have got shoe trees in them. Again, it pulls the moisture out. Number one, it makes the shoe last a bit longer, but also it stops all the moisture in the wardrobe as well.